ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The 2014 Commonwealth Games are fast approaching, and as Charles Fisher tells us tonight, regardless of what happens on the playing field, the Bahamas will still have its moment in the sun.
He received the International Olympic Committee Merit of Award earlier this year. Now, former president of the Bahamas Olympic Association, Sir Arlington Butler, will be bestowed with the Commonwealth Games Federation Merit of Award during next month's Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland.
I'm particularly happy that these things are happening for me, and I'm glad it hasn't been left to as I knew him. I'm really pleased with the fact that people are saying good things about me while I'm here.
BOC President Wellington Miller says it was a no-brainer by the organization committee to honor the man who holds the distinction of being the longest-serving Olympic Association president in this hemisphere.
We want to thank the Honours Secretary, Ms. Louise Martin, who we sent a letter to, and in about 2 weeks' time she sent the writers back and said it was unanimously approved. That goes to show, too, the effect that Sir Arlington and the legacy that he leaves behind in the Commonwealth Games Federation.
Sir Arlington Butler made his impression on the Commonwealth Games Association way back from the 1960s.
My first meeting was in Kingston, Jamaica in 1966. My first involvement with the Commonwealth Games Federation, and I watched it grow. I went to many Commonwealth Games, including Kingston and Scotland and Edinburgh and Canada a couple of times, Australia a couple of times, and to New Zealand once, and Malaysia once.
Congratulations to Sir Arlington Butler. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
All right, thanks, Charles. Well, the Bahamas Baseball Federation's National Championships will get underway tomorrow and run through Sunday in Grand Bahama. And BBF General Secretary Teddy Sweeting says they have all of their bases covered this time around.
One of the things we've learned from last year, the executive committee, the elected executive committee, will not be involved in any protests. We have an outside protest committee that will handle all protests, which will be final. So we have no decisions to make once the tournament starts. Only thing we're going to do is make sure that it runs on time, games start on time, the officials are there. But any issues that goes on, we'll have a protest committee that's outside of the executive committee. So we're moving ourselves away from that standpoint, which is very good. So that we're not labeled with anything in respect of it. Let the leagues make the decisions, because right now the protest committee will be formed out of the three top leagues in the country. And when we say that these are your main leagues, JBIN, Freedom Farm, and Grand Bahama, we'll have a representative on the committee, and then we'll have an independent person who will then head that committee.
Now, Freedom Farm will be one of 9 leagues competing in this year's Nationals, and they're all geared up and ready to go.
This is like my 6th or 7th year going to Nationals, so I feel pretty good for my team. I mean, it's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of practice, so we can't fool around, don't do garbage.
The Bahamas Swimming Federation's National Championships will also get underway tomorrow and run through Sunday at the Betty Kelly Kenning National Aquatic Centre. The Royal Bank of Canada is once again on board as the major sponsor, and moving forward, BSF President Algernon Cargill hopes others will follow suit.
Unfortunately, the support for swimming is not at the level that we would like, and we did have BTC that increased the support for swimming by donating cell phones to all of the athletes. But nonetheless, we do not have a level of corporate sponsorship, and one of my mission or goal is to change the perception of swimming as an elite sport. We have swimmers from all socio-economic levels on our national teams, as well as swimming at the National Swimming Championships. And swimming is by no means an elite sport. Our swimmers work very hard. This year we're honoring more than 150 academic all-Bahamian swimmers. These are swimmers who have achieved GPAs of 3.5 and above and are qualified to represent their clubs at the National Swimming Championships. So we would definitely want to continue to ask corporate Bahamas for their support, primarily because the swimmers are working so hard, and unfortunately it seems as if their hard work is going unnoticed by corporate Bahamas.
For Jacksboro Tennis will be taking a group of youngsters to North Carolina tomorrow to take part in a team competition set up by former Davis Cup captain John Farrington, and this trip is all a part of a much bigger goal.
I'm taking with me Ahmad Thompson, who is one of the, well, actually right now he'd be the second best player that ever came out of Lusor, who plays 16s and 18s. Kevin Major is going to be going because we're hoping that he gets an opportunity to be seen by the coach at the University of North Carolina at Asheville. Sindai Kerr, Jacoby Bain, Jade Bastian, who plays 16s and 18s. The youngest player is going to be Michael Major Jr. He's currently number 2 in 10s, number 1 in 8s. And again, this is just exposure for him, and the group is going to be exposed to the level that when they come back, they should be ready. They should be ready to compete at the very highest level. Tanaj Shinji is also going to be one of those kids that's going to be going with us.
The Showtime Basketball Club made its presence felt recently at a tournament in Grand Bahama, winning 5 divisional championships. And according to Coach Maurice Forks, in addition to playing the game itself, he also teaches his players to do the right thing.
It's just me that coach the team, and I've done that for a reason. I've had a few other persons express interest, but I'm careful about the type of character that I have around the team. I want to have a certain standard. I don't want to have guys who drink and smoke and curse and things of that nature around the team. I want to keep a particular standard, so I just decided to do it all by myself. It is a lot of time. We put in a lot of time. We train at least 4 to 5 days a week. We were also juggling because of exams, so some guys told them to sit out some practices because of exams, because education is key. We have a lot of coaches that sell hoop dreams and they're not focusing on the children's education. We have several MVPs from Hugh Campbell who are still here and now, so I can't go to college because they don't have a diploma. And these are the things that we have to expose in this country.
And that will do it for sports. Don't go anywhere. The Bahamas Tonight is back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.